What's your relationship with uncertainty? That's the question that I have today. My name is Maurice Turney, and I am the author of Sacred Miles on the Camino. Sacred Miles on the Camino is my transformative journey from self-abandonment to self-worth. And there's a big chunk of my life I was dealing with uncertainty. Growing up, being uncertain about what I was going to come home to. And, I put my hand on the doorknob and opened the door to the house. And all of my senses came alive. What did it smell like? What sounds was I hearing? What was the energy that I was feeling as I was coming into the house? Because there was so much uncertainty that all of my senses were heightened. And I truly believe that this is a survival mechanism, right? And I quickly became a people pleaser. And what I realized is that if I made sure that everybody around me was happy, that I met their needs, then it created a safe environment for me. I abandoned myself to make sure that my outer world and everybody in it were happy. And it got me in the end, because I became extremely miserable, that I needed to make new choices. And that's when I had to shift my focus from the outer world and turn it towards me, my inner world. And one of those things was I needed to choose me. I needed to acknowledge my existence. And that was a big part. And so when I was in this time of my life where I had to make these transitions, one of them was I wanted to sell my house. And I kept looking for a place to live, my next step. And years were going by, and I still wasn't finding a place that I wanted to go to. And so I decided in January of 2022 that I was going to pull the plug. I was going to sell my house without knowing where I was going, and I was going to figure it out. And that year was truly a year of discovery. And there's two things that arose. There's two things that I realized that I want to share with you, because I think they're quite powerful if we look at uncertainty through these two lenses. The first thing is acknowledging what was happening. In my book, I talk, in chapter 1, I talk about starting to acknowledge what was happening. So when I decided to sell my house, yay, I was excited, but the next day is like, ooh, I'm feeling a little bit gloomy. And so instead of running away from that, I stayed with it. Like, what are these feelings that I'm having? What is it trying to communicate? And what I was in discovery about is all of the memories that I had in the house, and the house, this relationship that I had with the house and with all of the items in the house. And as I started to acknowledge all of the spaces and the objects, it became clear to me that these were all symbols and memories. They were objects that became symbols that were holding the memories of my life. So as an example, I would, pick these rocks on my different vacations, and I would bring them in my home. But it wasn't just a rock. It was a rock that held the whole memory of that holiday. So that's what I discovered. It's the relationship to all of these things. And the more I stayed with it and acknowledged what was showing up within me and in my environment, then it became so much easier, because the more that I acknowledged things, the more the emotion lifted within me, which was phenomenal. I don't know what it's like for you, but if there's anything, if you find yourself in a situation that's awkward maybe, or uncertainty, it's acknowledging what's going on. I'm feeling uncertain. Why is it that what is this uncertainty? Or I'm feeling awkward right now, and what is it that is making it awkward? I remember once I was teaching a yoga class, and the room was like ice cold. It was freezing, and it created an awkwardness in me. And it's like, you know what? I'm just gonna like pause. And I shared with everybody, I said, look, I'm there. It's extremely cold in this room. We have a choice to stay here, or we can actually move to a place that's the climate's better. And as a group, we decided to stay. But and it took the awkwardness away from myself and all of the participants. So acknowledging is extremely powerful, because then information can rise from that. The other thing that I realized is my relationship to trust. So I feel like there's uncertainty, which is like, what if? And then there's trusting. And when I say trusting, it's trusting that everything's going to be perfect, or not perfect. Let me take that back. It's trusting that the best is yet to come. So I don't know what's going to happen, but I trust that it's going to be good. So I took on that philosophy as I was packing my house and getting ready for moving, and the more I was approaching to my closing date, I wasn't getting any closer to finding a home, my next home. So I decided to put all of my stuff in storage, which would buy me time, and possibilities opened up by taking the pressure off, because I didn't want to force an outcome. I didn't want to force picking a place that I would be unhappy. I left it open. And in the openness, what arose was the opportunity to walk the Camino de Santiago, which became my book. So that was just one thing that arose, one possibility that arose. It was synchronicities and moments of that things would happen. Like I wanted to sell some objects, the right people would come to buy it. I needed a next place to stay. Someone offered me a place to take care of their home. It was there was always the solutions, or my next steps, or the void was always filled by something. And that was something that I brought onto my journey of the Camino. And there's a saying that the pilgrims say is like, the Camino provides. And it's so unbelievably true. Every time I needed something, it would show up. The Camino provides. And it's not only on the Camino, it's on the Camino of our life. It's on the path of our life. Everything arises that we need, if only we pause to acknowledge it. So there we go. Trusting and acknowledging, they go hand in hand. I think they're a solution to uncertainty. Now, I'm curious to know what is your relationship to uncertainty, and what are some of the things that have worked for you, or what you realized as you navigated through uncertainty. So if you want to share in the comments below or reach out, I would love to hear. So in summary, what I discovered about my relationship to uncertainty is acknowledge what's showing up and trust that the best will come. Not go into the worry, no, but trust that the best is to come. And whenever those thoughts of uncertainty or the thoughts of worry would arise, I would let it go and say, you know what, the best is coming. So, and to be open, because I think that as we live heart-centered, as we vibrate this trust and love, it's being in the receiving of this vibration to come. So if we go into worry, I think that we're attracting what could go wrong. But if we stay trusting that the best is to come, and then opening up to receiving the best, there is this connection that happens. And I've been practicing this, and I gotta say, it is working so far. So I just wanted to share this little tip because I practice it continuously. Even now, as my book is written, and now I'm entering a new journey of marketing my book and creating awareness and teaching what the story wants to share with everyone, and just trusting that whoever needs to hear this will hear it, and it will grow from here. So this is what I wanted to share with you today. Thank you for listening. If you want to continue this journey with me, this journey home to ourselves, this journey of being in relationship to our outer and our inner world, then join, because it's about life. It's about our Camino. It's about our journey, and it's our journey home to ourselves. So thank you for being here, and until next time.